I'm just doing a short walk here. It's hardly worth recording, but there's a footpath sign. Gilfach Goch. I just haven't been along this actual track before. Well, along this drive. There we go. It's probably not too far to this Gilfach Goch. But quite windy today, and seems a pleasant little stroll along this driveway or track. This track, I think leads to a caravan site. I mean, certainly no farm track. So, on this caravan site, many years ago, I stayed at just for a few days when my parents, I think shortly after came back from the States. Oh, that was over 20 years ago. You can see one or two static caravans, but I think there's I remember, well, about at least a dozen caravans. I haven't actually ever been back to that caravan site since I was last there a long time ago. But you can see the long runway of the Llanbedr airfield. We can't see any footpath. There probably is, but there's a picnic area over there. And I won't go down any further than this, but the caravan site is behind those trees. Just there, and this is Hendy, or Hendry, that owns the campsite. So I'll return a couple of 100 yards and go back onto the original planned footpath. There's the caravan site I stayed at many years ago now with the parents, and there's the farmhouse. You can see some friendly dogs there. Of course the wind is blowing, so there'll be an audio problem. So there's a friendly horse. Okay, we've just come from down there, and here's the tarmac road, basically, which leads down to another house, and apparently there's a footpath that goes from there back to where I parked the car. The private house is down there, but I just came down that track. But here, luckily, there's a footpath sign. So this should go down pretty close to the road, the main road, and then there should be a footpath going off to the right. Are marked. There's a footpath sign there, and there's a hideaway house. Can't quite see it, but it's behind those trees. And continue down here and see what's around the corner. Well, signpost, and no problem. Go up there, and the house is just 100 yards or so back there. Nice little well-marked footpath here, although there's not much of a footpath. Not many people walk along here, but it certainly is. I always notice that little rocky knoll when I drive along the main road from Barmouth, just ahead. There's the main road, and just down here, this is 100 yards away, or 100 yards away, there should be another footpath sign by that tree, and the footpath should run across that field parallel to the road. It's quite a pleasant walk so far. Up down behind this wall because the wind is blowing. And there's a lay-by down there and a footpath sign and a gate. But According to the Ordnance Survey map, my footpath goes over parallel with the road over there somewhere. Maybe close to 200 yards from that tree, sheltered under. But yes, here's another footpath sign. So this, just a few yards, should connect to a driveway, and then which leads down to the road with that rusty gate. And here's hardly a footpath. It looks as though it's well trodden, but certainly well marked. And you can see a gate gaining access to the driveway, and there's a private house with someone in the driveway, so I don't have to walk through his actual property. The driveway serves these two houses. There's another nice house over there, which hidden behind those trees. It's quite a big house. And here's this quite nice walled driveway, probably originally for a farm. So I'll go just along the road there a few yards and then cross over and down the road. They should be slowing down at this point with the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit for Llanbedr. I just go down here a few yards and then turn left. Here's where I turn on this bridle track sign. There's the entrance to that nice house. Can't quite see it from here. It's certainly got extensive grounds. The road a couple of 100 yards behind me. And this track leads to a house. Can't quite see just a little bit of it, but this is right away that leads through someone's garden, just down here to go through this private garden. But that's nice. The owner or someone has cut down the ferns, which probably at this time of year would be somewhat impassable. Might not be anyone at home at this particular time. Many of these cottages are holiday homes. There was someone at home. There's the car. It's in the park. There's a little wild garden here, which probably belongs to the owner, and a garden shed. I just came from there, and this driveway continues down for those farmhouses and outbuildings ahead of me. And I go right through the farmyard, his actual farm, and I'm walking through the farmyard here, and he's obviously got a good supply of logs on hand. And it's quite a prosperous place. There's the farmhouse, or, well, I presume it's a farmhouse. And continue on this gravel pathway, which leads to a tarmac road. There's an extensive rushes, I believe. Rushes, very extensive field of rushes. I don't know if you can quite see it in this light. Unfortunately, the sun has gone in, so it was sunny this morning, but now it's clouded over, and of course there is rain forecast later on. That's a fine hilltop house there, half timbered. Well, probably not originally half timbered, but it's that style of housing. It's quite a large house, and there's several houses dotted around. There's that farm. Well, it's not a farmhouse, certainly farm buildings adjacent to it. I just passed through, and here's the driveway. I've got this on telescopic, so probably can't quite pick them out, but there's about 50 starlings on that telegraph wire. Maybe, well, more than 50. And another 50 on the roof of that house along the ridge. Now that house there, it's probably one time belonged to the railway employee who looked after the level crossing for Llanbedr station. This is the road to Shell Island, and of course the season is more or less ending now, and that might be that driveway up to that nice house on the hill. But I'll go along here just for, well, only a quarter of a mile. It's a cycle track to the car park, and that'll be the end of the Welsh coastal path again. And it's a handy little car park, really. My car is parked right there in the corner, but I'll just show you how little water there is in the Afon Artro at this time. We've had very little rain this summer, and earlier on in the spring, early spring, this would be under several feet of water, a raging torrent, but now that's just a mere trickle. It's quite an extensive pebble beach, which wouldn't be here a lot of the time.